So you've decided the Renault Twizy is for you and you want to get the PowerBox, but you're not sure if it's going to work with your Twizy. Let's discuss that. Oh man, it's so hot in here. The weather in the UK continues to be doing crazy things. But we're here to talk about the Renault Twizy and specifically the PowerBox. So I'll start off by saying I'm not the expert. Kenneth, the guy who made this wonderful device, is. But I've seen a few questions on some of the forums and also some questions direct to me in the comments about either they've got a Twizy or they're thinking about getting a Twizy and they like the idea of the PowerBox, but they're not quite sure if it's going to work or not. So I'll do my best to try and explain it. So essentially, whatever Twizy you have, the PowerBox will work, but there's some things you need to be aware of depending on how old your Twizy is, essentially. So the Twizy was released around March 2012, initially in France, and a little bit later to the rest of Europe. And basically, if you have a Twizy that was built in between that kind of March 2012 time and around July 2016, you should have the right flashable Servcon firmware on the motor controller. So this is basically the controller in the car that obviously controls everything to do with the dash and controls the power to the motor and all that sort of thing. So you may have a car that's newer than that July 2016, but it may be that it has the older firmware on. So I know in some countries all Twizys are obviously imported there, so they may have an older firmware on. But basically, as a general rule of thumb, if your car was built prior to July 2016, you can buy a PowerBox, you can plug it in, use it, and when you're not using it or taking it back to the garage, you can return back to the stock mapping, remove the PowerBox, and pretty much everyone is none the wiser. So that's the situation with me. So I have a 2014 Twizy, PowerBox is plugged in. If I need to go back to Renault for some reason, then I can reverse everything and it's like it never happened. So that's the most ideal situation I think most people hope and expect for that. Now, after July 2016, the Servcon firmware on the motor controller was changed, and Kenneth found a way to basically reflash the firmware on that controller. However, due to some technical things that I don't necessarily understand or try and go into, it means that now the PowerBox becomes an integral part of the car moving forward. So that means for the car to work at all, you need to have the PowerBox plugged in, because the PowerBox is going to assist with the CAN bus communications for the drive and reverse buttons and the dash and all that sort of thing. So if you decide, hey, I've had enough of having the PowerBox, and you take it out, the car's not going to work anymore. So that's a decision that obviously you have to make. So if your car has the firmware after July 2016, this is one of the things you're going to have to consider. Me personally, if I was going to keep the car forever until it died, I probably wouldn't worry about that, because my car has a PowerBox in all the time anyway. But I'd probably wait until after the warranty had run out on the car. So in the case there was any issue, Renault aren't going to kind of have any reasons not to do the work on the car. So that's what I would do personally. The other option is that you get a different motor controller. So all of the motor controllers in a Twizy are assigned to the car. So ordinarily, if you took a motor controller out of a scrap Twizy and put it into your Twizy, it wouldn't work. However, because in this scenario that motor controller firmware has been completely wiped and is dependent on the PowerBox, that situation no longer matters. So one of the options could be that you decide you've got this Twizy that's after July 2016 and you definitely want a PowerBox. So then what you need to do is find/purchase a used motor controller from another car. And it doesn't matter what year, because even if you get a motor controller from a 2014 car, this doesn't mean that it's now flashable. Whatever happens in this scenario, you're going to have the PowerBox plugged in all the time, right? So you get this old motor controller. I think Kenneth even sells something about €300 or something. You buy that motor controller, and that is the motor controller that gets flashed with the firmware. So it's still Surfcon firmware, so the Renault stuff, but by Kenneth, that will use the PowerBox. You then remove the motor controller in your Twizy, put it somewhere safe, put this second-hand one in along with the PowerBox, and now you have a PowerBox modded Twizy, and you drive around and enjoy all the benefits of the PowerBox. Then if something happens to your car and you take it back to Renault for some warranty work, you've basically got an hour or so of work of disconnecting the PowerBox, removing the modded firmware version motor controller, take that out, put in the motor controller that originally came with your car, that is assigned to your car so will work, put that back in, take it to Renault, and no one's the wiser. So that's the options basically. So whatever Twizy you have, you can have a PowerBox, but right now if you have a Twizy that's got the Surfcon firmware after July 2016 on it, then you've got those options of either permanently modded with no way back, or you buy a used motor controller that you will then transplant in and out of your car as you want to mod, tune, or whatever, however you want to call it with the PowerBox. So I think that's it. If you've got questions or if you've gone through this experience, feel free to leave comments below. But like I said, really the main guy that you want to speak to if you want to clarify some of this stuff is Kenneth. I'll put a link again to his Facebook page in this description, but I hope that helps. But yeah, me personally, if you've got a pre-July 2016 car, get the PowerBox. It makes total sense. It's fantastic. If you've got a car after that, I think make that decision. Either wait until after the warranty. If you don't give a damn about that, just make it happen anyway. But perhaps if you can afford it and you can find one, spend that extra 300 euros. That's about, I don't know how much it is in pounds, £250 or something, on top of the PowerBox cost, and get the old motor controller, pop that in, and then you're safe to roll things back as needed. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.